Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to United View. Welcome to the second match preview of the season, our first away game of the 25-26 season, and it is at Craven Cottage to take on the Cottagers, to take on Fulham. And we need to put some points on the board, man. We need to get points on the board. All the positive talk about the Arsenal game has gone. We've said what we've needed to say. We've bigged up who we've needed to big up. And we've taken out the negatives of what we know we needed to work on. And obviously a mistake from the goalkeeper, which we'll talk about goalkeeping situation about this game. And it's about looking forward and about how we're going to approach this game. Have a little look at Fulham as well. Obviously, they got a 1-1 draw in the last minute against Brighton. Probably a little bit lucky, fortunate to get it, but they did. And they're a very much unchanged team from last year. You know what I mean? I spoke to my Fulham friend Jike, like I said to you guys earlier. And he's saying they haven't bought no players. They're a bit stagnant. And if they play how they played against Brighton, he was not impressed. And normally he's cussing us all the time, saying, can't wait to play you, can't wait to get you to the Cottage. And his energy was different. However, it's all good about energies and this, that, and the other, and us bigging up our players. But we have to deliver. We must win this game. We've got to get 3 points in the bag and then move on to Burnley as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. I am, because I want to see whether we're pretenders or not. You know, I think yes, I was very positive about taking the positives from that game against Arsenal. But once it's all said and done, I want to see what you lot are saying. Like, are you just doing that because it's Arsenal at home, crowds up, you got to show a bit, and you did still lose? And when you go to Craven Cottage, all of a sudden you're lethargic again, you're nervous, you're playing slow. Is it that, or is this not a false dawn? Is this the new look Man United where we're on the front foot, we're aggressive, we're winning the ball back high up, we're creating chances? I want to see.
Yeah, well, certainly the last few games against Fulham at Craven Cottage have all been quite similar, actually. We've got a very good record, certainly against them in terms of results, but the performances have been not that pretty to watch. But then what performances have been super pretty to watch for United for the last however many years? Not many. But actually last weekend was a relatively good watch. So like Flex said, it's more about, I suppose, can we continue that? Fulham have won just one of the last 19 Premier League games against Manchester United. That was when they beat us 2-1 at Old Trafford in February of 2024. But yeah, our record is very, very strong against them. In fact, it's so strong, particularly away from home. Manchester United have won each of their last 8 Premier League away games against Fulham. We've never won 9 in a row against an opponent.
We've won the last 8 in a row at the Cottage.
Yeah, last 8 away games in a row. Yep, against Fulham. We've never won 9 in a row against an opponent in our league history. That's how dominant we have been. Also, as well, the last 4 Premier League meetings between Fulham and Manchester United have seen a winning goal scored in the 78th minute or later, with all 6 goals in the games between them in the last 2 seasons coming in the second half. It was one of only 2 fixtures played 4 times across 23-24 and 24-25 without a first half goal, along with Everton versus West Ham. So we've seen, you could just look at that. Basically, every time we played Fulham recently, more often than not, we've won. Performances, maybe not so great. There's always a late goal, always a bit of late drama. Now, it's one of those ones which, look, but that was last year, that was last season, doesn't really count for all that much, but feels like maybe there's something in that. Fulham aren't great at home, actually, in the last few sort of games. They ended last season on a run of 3 consecutive home Premier League defeats, last losing more in a row when they lost the final 6 home games in 2020, 2021, which they, of course, relegated that year, I think, as well. Marco Silva's never lost 4 consecutive league games at home in his entire managerial career. As well. Wow. So there's a lot of history to be made on Sunday, indeed. But I think, like you said, Flex, really what it's all about is, and we go so different ends of the spectrum, don't we, at Manchester United? We had a time under Eric Ten Hag when I don't care about about performances, about results. Just go about results, win trophies. That's all that matters. That's the currency of football. And there would then be some going, no, yes, the results are great, but you need to have performances to go with it because it's about sustainability. Now, Ruben Amorim, we're now at the stage where we're going to tell you what, that performance was really, really good. But people are like, yeah, but we didn't win the game. You got to win football matches. I think my prediction going into the season was first 3 Premier League games from the international break. I think maybe with 6 points, I think it was. These are really the games that Ruben Amorim is going to be judged on in comparison to last season. Anyone can lose against a team that finished in the top 4 last year because they're top teams. They've got top players. That's football. Anything can happen. It's in these games that Manchester United need to win, isn't it? It's against your Fulham away from home, which we have done quite a lot, but then your Burnley, a newly promoted side at home. We've got to be beating those teams and also not just scraping through those games. Last season, we played Southampton at home, but we scraped through the game. We weren't that good. What we need to be doing, what top teams do, is they play these teams, they win the game, they win them comfortably, and they go, I tell you what, they were bloody good today. They were impressive today. They're one to watch, and hopefully we get your goals from Mbeumo and Cunha. You would think Benjamin Sesko wasn't deemed ready to start last week. He probably will start.
Did you reckon he starts?
I think so, because we saw against Fiorentina where we did the false 9, and the general consensus coming out of that game was, my goodness me, we need a focal point. We need a striker up front. Then a week later, that's where the frustration there was kind of, everyone acknowledged that he didn't start with a striker, but you can get the understanding of a week, you need more time. 2 weeks is enough to start, or 2 weeks is enough to start, play 60 minutes, 65 minutes, and then, you come off. So
I don't think he starts. I don't think he starts. I think what Ruben will do, I think he will look at how well the front 3 actually played with Mount, Cunha, and Mbeumo against Arsenal, with that being Saliba, Gabriel, causing big problems. And I think he'll go with I want that consistency from the off, where those guys actually did a bit, and then I'll bring him in, and then I think he'll start. Yeah, but I think he'll start him at Burnley at home. I think he'll give him a start. Then I just don't think he will. I just got a feeling. I hope he does. I just think he will go. I think he will go with that same front 3, because we didn't score, but we didn't score because we looked toothless and couldn't couldn't create. It just wouldn't quite go. I think he will. I think he will like the way we played so much that he'll want us to play in that same manner. And I think if you start Sesko, I think his worry would be, because this thing was, let the kid settle, let him settle. And obviously us as fans, what I learned straight away from that was, me as a fan, I'm like, need to strike so much, play him. As soon as he's fit, he's straight in. But it showed me something. And the way the team actually functioned, I think Ahmad's got more chance of starting than Sesko.
But I think
Ahmad. I think
it's a similar thing like when Brian Mbeumo. It was about a week, wasn't it? It was about a week that until he played for first game in pre-season, right? Because we signed him literally the Tuesday before we flew out. We signed him. It was announced and all that, and then he didn't play the first. And he missed the first 2, and then it was the last 2. It was about a week.
And he played 45 minutes. But it's pre-season, though. I don't know if he will. It
was more than 45, wasn't it? Because the teams were playing first 60, 65 minutes, wasn't it?
Nah, the one against Everton, he come off at half-time. I remember, because he played 45 and then he came off.
But still, I go back to even the I go back to even the when it comes to. I think he plays, because you look at, we didn't score obviously last week against Fiorentina. We didn't score from open play. It was an own goal. So I think that you can say, well, yeah, the play's good. Eventually, got to start putting the ball in the back of the net. I think give him a chance. I think you sign him for that. I think he plays 60 minutes, 65 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. I hope you're right, by the way. I would rather, if I'm picking the team, I would start him. But I think he would go, I think Mason Mount was too good to drop. I think he loves Mason Mount. I don't think he's dropping Mason Mount. And he's definitely not dropping Cunha and Mbeumo. I think he starts with exactly the same front 3 because he liked what he saw. You heard it here first. And if not, on the match view, it'll be a nice contentious bit. We can pull up this same clip and go, right, well, here's what you said, Flex, and here's what I said. I'm telling you now, Owen, Sesko's not starting. There you go. I don't think he is. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think he will.
Well, we know what the title's going to be for this. Flex, Sesko won't start.
Yeah.
The eyes emoji.
Yeah. That's what I think. I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I think. Ahmad, could he name an unchanged team? Bayindir, Onana, could the team be unchanged? Because he liked the performance. Because remember, we played well, so he might be like, I ain't changing anything.
From the goalkeeping's perspective, maybe not. Maybe he might keep it the same, because of course he did say that Onana was fit to play last week, didn't. Obviously, this chatter about Le Mans. So Bayindir, but I think Onana comes back in. I don't know if it means, I don't know if Ahmad comes straight back in. I don't.
He did really well.
Obviously, Ahmad, he did well when he came on, but I'm just thinking, away from home, maybe you just like the thing of going, Dalot, it's a bit more defensively reassured, isn't it, than Ahmad? Like we said, if it was Burnley at home, maybe it would be a bit different. We'd be like, he's going to play. Ahmad's going to start, but
does he make a midfield change? Does Ugarte start? Does Mainoo start? Because one thing that we do always, we don't often get the team perfect. He usually has a few in there where you're like, oh, didn't think.
Yeah,
that.
I think
especially with the first game of the season. Look how it was.
I'm going to go 2 changes. I think it'll be Onana to come in for Bayindir and Sesko to come in for Mount.
Okay, I'm going to go 2 changes. I'm going to go Onana and Ahmad in for Bayindir and Dalot. And same front three. I'm almost certain it's going to be the same front three the more I think about it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be totally shocked. But I would rather Sesko start. I think. Look,
you got to start getting him going, innit? That's the whole point.
I just feel like
you might not think he's ready yet.
And this was the argument I had with KG last time on the match view, which was, they're saying, oh, he didn't have a pre-season, which isn't true because he played 2 halves of football with Leipzig. It's just that he hasn't played it with United. Now, I did obviously have a behind closed doors match. But that's not competitive, I
was going to say, and were the other players playing in behind? That's just for him with the under-21s. It's not with
exactly. Well, we don't know. And there still might be stuff that wouldn't even come out about that. But but now an extra week, and he came on for 20 minutes at the end. He wasn't really involved all that much. But
he had a touch, did he? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But an extra week of training, and he keeps himself in great shape. Like you said, eventually there comes a point where you go, well, you got to put him in. You can't forever. You've got to integrate him at some point. Does he wait? With a game coming up midweek afterwards, he goes, "You're going to start against Grimsby." Because it's kind of mad, doesn't it? You're £70-odd million striker.
I know.
Start at Grimsby because you're not ready.
Need him to get minutes,
but he is ready. Exactly. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. Score prediction: are we going to win this
3-1? 3-1. I went with 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, because I do think we'll score goals. I think we'll score goals. I think. We're unlucky against Arsenal. They got a good defense. Fulham aren't great at the moment either, and but I think that'll be the proper performance to match the result.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I do feel like we're not going to lose. I'm looking at it like, nah. Well, I think we're going to play well. We're going to look all right, but still skeptical. I'm going to go 2-1 United. I know it's that cop out one, but I don't trust us to keep clean sheets, but I do think we'll score a couple goals. So yeah, there you go. Right, smash a like on the video, guys. I'll be on the match view, of course, with KG and Owen. It's going to be a great one. And let us know your predictions. Let us know if you agree with me. Do you think that Sesko won't start and Amrim liked what Mason Mount did so much and those guys as the front three that he will go with the same again? Or do you agree with Owen that he thinks he will start with Benjamin Sesko? Let us know in the comments. Take care, people. Peace.